Shoo-ba-doop beep bop. All right, so we're going to go live a little earlier than 4 p.m. Eastern time to bring the eyeballs in. I want to talk to y'all for a second before we go live. Give you the heads up on what we're doing, how we living. Yep, we're going to have to mute that. Was good. Hello, Adam. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Michael. So we're going to get on in a minute with the second intern. And we've got a couple more heated special guest referee interviewers. I want the people in here. Come on. Eyeballs, numbers. This is how we get the sponsorships. This is how we get the advertisers. We need more engagement. More. Bigger, faster, stronger, more. That's what we're all about. All right, you guys ready for me to add him in? 359. I'll tell you what, it's really fucking hard to conduct these interviews focusing on them while also focusing on all the bullshit going on in the bike round. All right, Maddie, I hope you're ready. Let's fucking boogie. Let's see if he pulls a Jack. Jack declined my first call. He's unavailable. What the fuck are you declining my call for right now again? Matthew.
Yo, my bad. I hung up on my phone to answer on my laptop, and I just hung up in general. What's up?
Nothing, man. I'm gonna have to be unbiased here, and Jack did the same thing and gave me a denial on the first interview, and you're gonna get a fired strike. You're fired for the first time.
Hanging up.
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
Maybe there will be an intern that shows up here that doesn't hang up on my call the first time around.
Mm.
All right, Matt, you ready? You ready to roll?
What's up? Yep.
You nervous? You look a little nervous.
I look nervous.
You seem
I'm
nervous.
Chilling.
You're chilling?
I have nothing to do. There's nothing to do.
Okay.
I'm unemployed, as your shirt says.
Love to hear it. Now you can give all the dedication, all the commitment to the big dogs, to the headquarters. All right. Let's get it rolling. So, intern number 2 for all those people out there. This is Matt. Matt, I don't know how to say your last name, so you're going to have to, I would try and say it Falkery?
Try.
Fuckery? I'm going to go with fuckery, so you don't want me to try that.
All right. It's so the name Corey with a fa before it. Fakori.
Fakori. Matt Fakori.
There you go.
Okay, Matt. So.
It was butchered my whole life.
It was what?
It was butchered my whole life.
It's a tough one, man. A lot of vowels, a lot of consonants just kind of thrown in there, and you don't see it played off that way too often. So Matt Fakori, we have it down. I'll try my best not to fuck this up. So Matt, you come into this interview, I would say, with a little bit of an advantage, and the reason why is because you went second. We already had an intern interview go. Jack stepped up. He took the first slot available, the first time available at noon. And my question to you is, and don't lie to me, did you prepare for this interview? Did you watch the first live stream? Were you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you in the bleed? Did you make a burner account? Were you in the comment sections fucking roasting Jack alive?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't comment, but I watched it.
Did you want to comment?
No.
No?
Nah.
Okay, fair enough.
I think if I thought of anything to comment at the time, but no.
Okay, I believe you.
I was just watching it for the vibe of it.
How do you think it went? How do you think Jack did?
Good. I think some of his answers, like if I'm being honest, some of his answers were kind of like the right answer, I guess, if you want to call it that.
What do you mean by
like
that?
Just like answering it just to like the safe answer.
Okay, just to satisfy me.
Yeah, probably.
So you're not here for that. There's no bullshit right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to hire a BSer.
I've already hired Snacks and Animals, so we've got a couple of those fucking assholes on the team already. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you imagine, how well do you think this interview is going to go? How much did you prepare? What did you do to prepare?
I watched his interview. The last few weeks, I watched vlogs on your channel to kind of get a vibe of what you're going for. Which I realized that you kind of been documenting the process of your brand the last however many years, which is why I think you're hiring interns so that you can continue that documentation process of it and not have to just outsource that work. But so I watched videos on your channel and then I watched the interview from earlier.
Okay, so you're ready to roll, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Would you say that this interview would be tougher if I zoomed out of myself? Oh, that zooms out on you. Do you see yourself right now?
Yeah, like in the corner, not equal like on YouTube.
I might zoom you out. If you start answering with some bullshit questions, I'm doing that. And if you start getting real good with them, I'm zooming in like this. I need to know if the YouTube people like that. They're commenting right now, so there are people out there yelling and screaming, and we probably have cult fans of Matt already, and we might have some haters already, Matt. So
there's haters in the comments.
There has to be. I mean, no matter what you do, no matter how good you are, no matter how smooth you are, no matter how prepared you are, there's always going to be haters, Matt. It's first and foremost lesson when it comes to content. What are you wearing underneath that shirt? I like that shirt, by the way. You got pants on?
Yeah. Do you want to see my pants?
Yeah, stand up.
Jeans. Blue jeans.
Fair enough. Better man than I am. So Matt, let me start off by telling you why you moved on, right? So with Jack, he's talented when it comes to the illustrations, designing, industrial design, graphic design, that kind of stuff. He seemed like a very down-to-earth person, and the fact that he was willing to come to New York for the summer was definitely a plus for him. And I see a lot of similarities between you two in terms of, being a brand or being a company that revolves around creating content and being a media company, right? At the sense of what we do, we're a media company. That's the product we really offer to the audience. I mean, you already have experience as a video guy, a photo guy, right? You went to school for videography and like digital media production and things like that. So that was an obvious plus for me because that puts you ahead of most candidates kind of right out of the rip. You also seem like a cool, down-to-earth person that I could see just like hanging out with and whatever. And you're also a little bit older than the other candidates, which is not a knock whatsoever. You're 25, right?
Yeah, 25.
So you have some life experience here, right? And I think that, in a sense, is almost more valuable than a lot of the technical skills that most people would bring to the job because you could always learn, you could always teach the other shit. So I would say that you come in with a few advantages for sure, and that is why I had you moved through to the next round. Now, I'm curious as to like your background with videography and photography. You went to school for it. What have you been doing since you got out of school to now? If I remember correctly from your video, you're from Chicago originally, right?
Yeah.
And then one day you just said, fuck it, I'm moving out to Arizona, right?
Yeah.
And now you're in Arizona crashing at your boy's place?
Yeah, so I was going to move to LA because LA, city of media. Basically was a couple months from moving to LA, set to move to LA, but my friend from Chicago that lived in Arizona had to back out for whatever reason. And I thought if we're just going to the whole point was to work on our portfolio. I don't need to be LA. I just need, just to get out. So chose Arizona, way cheaper than LA, as you can imagine. So yeah, moved out here. But post college, I graduated college 2016, studied broadcasting and digital media at a tiny school in Ohio. And I'm from Chicago, so 3 million people to 3,000 people in the town. It was just like crazy. I don't like small towns, but did an internship in Chicago where I was an video editor for just a freelancer because I needed the college credit. We filmed interviews for this one company that hosted plays for special ed kids, where the special ed kids had the lead role, and so got to film them, the parents, do a promo video for them. Another one was Rush Hospital in downtown Chicago. They had a veterans program for recovery, and the same thing. We filmed them, the therapist, the family, did a promo video for them. But the whole time since graduation, I've been doing Uber and Lyft to kind of fund my freedom, if you want to call it that,
Okay.
and knew I could do that in any city, so took it to Arizona.
Okay. So with that as your background, you know, I don't know your video stuff professionally, like how skilled you are, but I've seen your YouTube stuff, and I know you put out some vlogs beforehand and whatnot, and they remind me a lot of the vlogs that I put out, like my travel vlogs and stuff.
Yeah.
How skilled would you say you are as videography, as someone who I'm assuming you do all your own like editing and shit, right?
Yeah. So you're probably wondering why I stopped vlogging, because it's like I started vlogging and then as soon as I moved to Arizona, I kind of stopped, which was 2 years ago. I upgraded my camera, so it's a way more expensive camera than my Canon T3i from before, and just holding that, I was just too scared to do that. I like the thought of vlogging for someone else. I don't like filming myself in it, I guess. So that's one reason I stopped. But you're asking how skilled I am in that?
Yeah,
or?
like realistically, how, you know, do you think that you have the skills to put out? Because I say that because in the video that you put through,
Yeah.
that what you said was something that resonated with me. You're like, I would love to capture the behind the scenes process of, you know,
Okay.
something that's going on, and that's exactly kind of what we're looking for in a sense. Someone who wants to do that, but is also like versatile in their skill set. And when you said that, you know, it kind of ticked something in me, and I was like, okay, I kind of want to talk to this kid more about, you know, what he can offer in that sense. But I also, you know, a lot of people might say they want to do it, but I'm not exactly sure, you know, how skilled you are at it. So I want your honest opinion on how well you do that, you know?
I think I can do that well. I think it's simple. I don't know. I think it's simple and easy. I don't know. I know I would enjoy it because
Well, here. Sorry to cut you off, but what I mean by like, okay, have you ever watched any of the vlogs that like Scott, you know, my editor Scott, that Scott's put out? Like, say the featured video on my channel is like the New York City draft vlog weekend. Have you watched that video?
Before applying, I remember watching one.
Okay, so some of the vlogs that we do, I hand off to Scott, and he edits them, and they're like a production quality of, you know, like really, really well done. And when I do my vlogs, the production quality, it's not shit, but it's the next closest thing to shit. So I'm wondering like where you reside in that scale, if that makes sense.
I'm talking about the filming side of it, not the editing.
Both. I think what I would task you with is really like you might have a project, like your weekly project would be, okay, we want a weekly vlog out. Like this is going to be your baby. This is what I want you to do to document everything, you know, from week to week. And you're putting that film out completely on your own. You think it would come out as a good product?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know enough to edit. I know Premiere to edit. I think I would do great. So you want a number, 1 through 10?
If you want to throw it out there, I just wanted to get more of like a sense of how you felt about it. I think I could kind of tell from, you know. Sorry, I think we cut out there for a second. Okay. Okay. So also in your video, you know, you talked about how you moved around a lot, and your lease is up in the summer. What exactly does that mean? When's your lease up?
It's up in July, so July 5th.
July.
What are the dates for that you were imagining?
So realistically, well, it would depend on, you know, Corona, but as soon as they opened up some kind of non-social distancing, like if you were, what I imagine they're going to do is something like scale it to where it's like, okay, you know what, you could be in groups of like 3 or 5 people, but they probably won't open up a lot of the general public shit to people, you know. As soon as they let us do that, as soon as they let us open up to small groups of people, like 3 or 5, I would say it's go time for us. Can I put a real estimate on that from like a medical standpoint? I have no fucking idea. You know, it could be June 1st. It could be July 31st. Like that's realistically when I'm going to want the interns in. Had the Corona thing not happened, the date would have been probably June 1st.
Okay.
So
that'd be 1 month off my lease, which is fine.
So my question also to you is, since this is like a summer thing, do you know how fucking expensive New York is? You talk about not moving to LA, but New York.
I know. Yeah, I was looking at Airbnbs. I saw that you brought up how in the first interview that you were thinking of having just the person there.
Yeah, and that's okay, and I could probably make that exception for you as well. But if you were moving to New York, like since your lease is up, you'd be moving to New York, right? Like that is you would have a lease for 12 months, you know? Like I wouldn't expect you to crash on my floor for 12 months, you know?
No, yeah. So the internship, I always thought it was a 2 month, or
It was
I don't
supposed to be from like June 1st until maybe the start of the football season.
got you. And then you would hopefully, ideally, if you like the intern, hire them on. That's your plan.
We would kind of take it in stride right now. Something like for you, because it's not really an internship. Most of the if it's a kid who I hire out of college, right, they'll have to go back to college in that first week of September. So we couldn't continue working with them, right? But for you, like we could always keep you on as like a part-time hire or something like that, where you work, 20 hours a week for us, if that was something that you'd be interested to. So it would definitely be flexible, but the earlier we get in here during the summer, probably the better for both parties. So I just didn't want to, if your lease is up in like July 31st, I don't want you paying 2 months of New York City rent, living here or anything like that. So I want to get a better read on your situation.
Yeah, no, it's up in, I mean, without this, I'm contemplating moving back to Chicago, just for money security, and it's probably a better job opportunity. But so I mean, I've already thought about leaving Arizona. I've already contemplated it.
Not a fan of Arizona?
No, I mean, there's good and bad. There's good and bad with anything. As a city, I don't like it because it does not feel like a city at all. It's Phoenix is double the size of Chicago with half the people. So that population density, that's like a fourth population density. So it's so different. You have to drive everywhere. As a place to live, I love it. I mean, I'm technically in Scottsdale, so it's pretty bougie, but it's a great place to live. As a city, I don't like it, but I don't have to have a city.
Have you ever been to New York City?
Yeah, when I was younger, but I didn't have like the adult lens to look at like as a place to live.
Yeah,
but
every time I travel somewhere, I think about like, could I see myself living here? And most of them end up feeling like places like Arizona, like you explained, where, a lot of people, but it doesn't feel like a place. Like you'll just end up going to the same places and doing the same shit over and over again. And I'm like, that's not what I want. That's why I come back to New York City. I'm like, this is the greatest fucking city in the world, because you never know what's going to happen on any given night or any given day. And it's just like vastless end of fucking city. All right. So Matt, I'm curious as to how you found my content to like start with. Did you just simply go on YouTube one day, like type in fantasy football and my shit popped up?
Yeah, I think preparing for the draft, preparing for specific player positions to draft. So whatever. Because I said I was going through your channel the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. Always Nick Ercolano tight end keeps coming up because I probably searched that. I probably had no idea what to do for tight end at the time of last year's draft. But yeah, just player profiles.
Okay, that's a funny search term for it to come up. So do you consume most of your content via like video, or are you like a podcast guy? Like how do you consume your content realistically?
I watch a lot of YouTube podcasts. I listen to the same station, the ESPN 1000 Chicago, just for Chicago sports radio because I follow all four sports. So I keep that tie from home. Okay. But Pardon My Take, Barstool, and then just Cubs, Bears podcast.
Okay. Do you know who do you listen to any like fantasy football podcasts specifically besides ours?
Like legit podcasts, like on the app and everything. Maybe ESPN fantasy.
There's like the Roto Worlds and ESPN, and the fantasy footballers and stuff. Yeah.
So the one guy I like is DFS 5-Pack. I don't know if you've heard of him. He does more daily fantasy though. I'm part of their Facebook group and I watch their videos, but they're definitely way more daily fantasy, which is, I said in my video, that's illegal in Arizona, so I can't play DFS. It's so dumb. But
do you know who the fantasy footballers are? Do you know who they are as like a podcast and a personality?
I don't.
No, you don't. Okay. Well, they're very big in the space. I would say that they're probably, if not the biggest, they have to be one of them, right besides ESPN and Yahoo. And
Gotcha.
What's up, guys?
So if you're not aware of who that homeless-looking man over there is, that is Mike, the hitman, right, of the Fantasy Footballers, as our special guest interviewer. Number one for your boy, Matt Fakori. Mike, you are a fellow Arizonian, and Matt's over here. He just moved in. He's been there for about a year, but he's ready to make the jump to New York City if the dream allows it. So with that being said, maybe you could yell at him about some things Arizona like, or you can ask him whatever questions you think would fit.
All right. Step number one. Do you know who I am?
I don't.
Huh. That's the problem.
Should I fire him?
Well, I do now. Should you fire me?
There you go. Fired.
Yes.
Fired strike number 2.
I'd rack them up.
Does it bother you that I'm eating on the microphone?
No. If I had headphones, maybe, but I don't.
Do you like ASMR chip chewing videos?
I've never searched it.
That's a bold-faced lie. Fire him again. Fire him again.
Okay.
He's a liar.
Number 3. Would you be open to possibly creating ASMR type content for Big Dogs?
Ooh. Little dog's got a bow wow.
Do you have the microphone equipment for that? Because that's definitely that's audio based.
So how would we? You seem familiar for someone who's never searched it. You seem semi-familiar with it. How would we go about creating that?
I told you he's a liar.
I mean, you just throw a mic in someone's face and they talk. That's all I know about.
No,
ASMR.
isn't ASMR eating?
No, it's mostly whispering.
Yeah, just for,
Why do you guys know so much about ASMR? I don't understand this.
I know about it because it drives me insane. Most people listen to it because it actually gives them pleasure. I have the complete and total opposite reaction where it makes my skin want to jump off my body.
That's such an odd thing to find pleasurable.
Look, man, you're still a young chap. You're still trying to find your way in this world. All right, back to me.
Always.
Do you know what I do?
I'm guessing fantasy football information.
Why do you want to work for a fantasy football company and you don't know who I am?
Because I enjoy fantasy football and happen to not know who you are.
It's the simple facts.
What do you like most about fantasy football?
I enjoy stats. So you're analyzing football from a completely different way of just viewing it as the sport. And then you got the friend aspect of it with your leagues and trash talking. I mostly enjoy it because of the stats, but there's a bunch.
So you crunch your own numbers?
I look up videos on YouTube and have people crunch the numbers for me. I do a little crunching numbers.
What do you work in?
What am I working?
Like when you're doing your numbers, you write them on a napkin, you plug them in a spreadsheet, you code in R. How do you do it?
I don't make my own spreadsheets. I probably just find anything I can on YouTube. You're looking for specifics, like what stats?
Have you ever heard of the Ultimate Draft Kit? Sorry, bro. All right, so you basically go off of other people's information, though. You don't try and make your own proprietary stuff.
No, I can look in different outlets. I don't go to one person, but
we're gonna have to expand your mindset when it comes to fantasy football, because I'll be honest, I'm very surprised that you didn't know who the Ballers were for being in the space, and it's not a negative. I don't expect everyone to know everybody, but I do. Everyone should know who Mike is. It's a very it's an unforgettable face. You guys kind of have the same. If Matt grew out a beard that was a little bit thicker, I could see the resemblance.
A little bit. So you're wanting to leave Arizona, and how long have you been here?
2 years and April, 3 months.
So 2 years, and you already have the flag on your wall?
I bought it right away. I like flags, so.
All right. I don't like Arizona very much, but one of the things that we did right, I think our flag is pretty boss.
Our flag is fine. Well, I shouldn't say our.
Oh, our flag.
There you go.
I've been here 2 years.
That's a red flag. You don't actually want to come to New York, do you? So let me. Since you're a Bears fan?
Yeah.
But were you excited living in Arizona when DeAndre Hopkins got traded to the Cardinals?
I mean,
Mike wasn't excited at all.
No, he
really
sucks.
matter because everyone's on lockdown. It's not like you can go to bars and talk sports and like discuss that trade.
So from the people that are around you though, you didn't care. Like your friend that you're living with, is he a Cardinals fan?
No, he's from Chicago. He moved out here before I did, but honestly, I don't have friends that care about sports here. And definitely not Cardinals. If was anything, it would, like, some people here are Cubs fans because of spring training, and the Diamondbacks are like 20 years old or new. But as far as like I don't even have a Cardinals fan friend 2 years after living here.
Have you ever been to New York?
Yeah, twice. City twice, state 3 times.
And what'd you do there?
All the touristy stuff. I think it was 7th grade, but Times Square, Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty.
How old are you?
Now 25.
Okay.
What are you trying to get at there, Mike?
I'm just seeing what his experience has been with New York. Like, I am not a New York fella. I'm not an Arizona guy either, but New York City, like, I know Nick loves the city. It's just it's not my speed. So I'm just like, New York is a wild place.
Now.
What's that?
So you're in New York now?
No. I'm in Arizona.
Okay. Oh, clear.
Mike told me that they're thinking about relocating to New York, though.
No.
Your tattoos say New York City, though.
What?
All
really?
Yeah.
They say New York?
Yeah. I mean, they don't literally say New York, but everyone walking around here. No. Well,
that's what you were implying. I'm like, when did I get that tattoo?
So, Matt, let me ask you on the basis of tattoos, commitment to the brand is important. You seem like a guy who has traveled a lot of different places, and I'm not going to ask you to get a Big Dogs tattoo. I am not even ready to get one myself. Since you're a big traveler, would you get the words Wanderlust tattooed on you if I made you?
I wouldn't even put that in my Instagram bio.
My next question was gonna be, if I made you post something Wanderlust for the next 30 days throughout your time of interning with me, is that also a no?
You're saying film based off the word Wanderlust?
You're going to post something corny on Instagram about Wanderlust and make a nice little cute caption every single day that you are interning over at Big Dogs. Is that a deal breaker?
Like, just being in New York is the most culturally great experience, and you want me to document that?
Yeah, and like you'd put a bunch of hashtag Wanderlust.
That's some New York butt kissing going on.
That.
So you would get the tattoo? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't get a tattoo.
Okay, 4.
Is there a problem with that word? Like, is that an overused word or something?
Yeah, Mike. I know you're not in the necessarily. Are you a millennial? Are you considered a millennial? What is the age?
I am not. I am technically considered what I think they called as Zennials, because there's like this really small age gap of people between Gen X and the millennials, because I know life without internet, but I also know life with internet. Like we bridge that divide, and they kind of use that as a classification for this maybe 5 to 6 year span. So I definitely don't identify with Gen X, and I don't identify with millennials when they are like breaking those things down as generations. So it made sense when I finally heard that they have like this tiny subcategory for us.
Okay, yeah. The long story short was just that if millennials have absolutely just destroyed the word Wanderlust, and don't ever use it in an Instagram caption or on anything that you don't want people to hate.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay, you're out. Okay, well, Mike's gone. We will get on with the remainder of the interview. I should have planned this better and should have had someone in the DFS space, or had someone that maybe knew Mike from the front, because that would have been probably a really, really fun little bit for him to shit on you. As like you would have been a little bit starstruck, but I love that he comes in and you're just like, I don't even know who the fuck you are, to be honest with you. Which is, I respect it. I respect the cool.
I mean, I can't fake it.
Very true. Very true. Okay, so a few more questions before we ask a few more questions. Couple randos. What TV series do you think is the most overrated TV series of all time?
Game of Thrones.
Do you actually believe that, or you just not like the last episode?
No, I didn't even get there. I think I stopped in the 4th season. When the last season started, I was like, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'll watch it. Binged all the way to the 4th season. Everyone hated the last episode, and then I just gave up on it because I was kind of sick of it.
I would have to disagree, but I guess that's why, you know, people have their overrated, underrated, is because it's a strong take, and you're fading the public in a sense. So I like Game of Thrones up until the last season. I thought it was kind of shit, but, you know, you're...
So my favorite show of all time is Lost, and everyone hates the finale of Lost, and I loved it. So there's a chance I go watch Game of Thrones and love the ending, but I just don't want to do that.
I've never seen Lost from like front. I think every time I tried to watch Lost, I realized that there's like 642 episodes. So I'm like, I'm not even going to try to start this thing right now. Is it worth it?
I love it because of the storytelling. They do flashbacks in every episode, so it's almost like every episode has a different main character, and you find out their life off the island to realize how they act on the island.
Okay.
I love the way they do it.
Okay. So, on a serious note, and I actually asked Jack this, are there, you know, you kind of named a few and touched on a few, are there any brands or companies or individual content creators that you watch, you know, whether it's weekly or daily, that you really think do a good job building their company or building who they are as a personal brand and market themselves really well? And like, what do you think the reason behind you being so, you know, attracted to their content or their company is?
Yeah, so the channel I watch every week is Nelk. They're really big right now. They're kind of in a dying section of YouTube because pranks they were dead years ago, pretty much, because a lot of people faked it. But I still enjoy them just because they're hilarious, and they kind of had a niche within the making of YouTube where they pretended to work at places they don't work at, and
you're talking about the Nelk Boys, right?
At Nelk Boys, yeah.
Okay.
So, but I mean, they're just hilarious. Their brand is kind of marketed towards fraternities, I guess, or partiers, which is a huge market. But I've watched them for a long time, like 5 years maybe, just because I watched like every prank guy on YouTube back then, and so it's watching them build their brand basically till now was pretty cool to watch. Another channel, have you heard of Valuetainment?
I don't think so.
It's an entrepreneur channel, and the guy calls it the #1 channel for entrepreneurs on YouTube. He's a business guy, but he just does a bunch, sometimes political, within like a pretty centrist view.
Yeah.
Just what's going on and how that relates to finances. I think they hit 2 million subscribers, but he's a really cool guy. Breaks things down really easily. Trying to think of any other brands I enjoy.
So why do you, going back to the second one that I've never heard of, why do you think that why do you think he's grown so successfully, and why are you so attracted to him?
The way he explains things is great. So he'll do a video on like the '08 crash, on China-U.S. relations. The guy's Iranian, from Iran. So he's done USA and Iran, like history and how that relates to now. Steps to be a millionaire in a really non-cringy way, like non-clickbaity way.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a channel like him for entrepreneurs, so it's kind of like he jumped in and kind of like we are the entrepreneur channel of YouTube and built that up.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think that's a really powerful tool to have in content creators' chest, in a sense, is being able to take things that are overly complicated for the majority of the public and breaking them down in a very simple form. And I think that's one way that fantasy football channels or fantasy football people like myself, tend to grow a following, in a sense, right? Because most people see so many fucking numbers, everything is super saturated, and most people come in and don't have the idea for what the fuck's going on. What should they listen to? What should they actually be consuming? So that's definitely a big part of the way that we view our brand as well, is being able to simplify things that are a little difficult. So that, I like that you pointed that out as well. So, I'm sorry. You want to jump in?
Oh no, I just said you're good.
Okay. So, I want to pivot to Bill Belichick.
Well.
What's up,
Look who we have here.
Billy? Looks good to be here.
Let's make this quick, Nick. It's my birthday.
The more efficient this Bill, the better.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yep.
hear you. How you doing, Uncle Bill? Bill, are we having technical difficulties? Do we have to drop him? What do you think, Matt? We drop him or we give him another 10 seconds?
What is he here for?
It's here to ask the hard-hitting questions that the people need answers to.
We have nothing but time.
That's not true. I got another interview right after you.
I have nothing but time.
You have nothing but time. Maybe I'll get you and Bill on a call together afterwards.
All right.
Bill,
Yes, I'm here.
Cool.
glad to have you on board.
Let's make this shit quick. I got a birthday party.
Why wasn't I invited?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. This is awkward.
On to something else.
Matt, how are we doing today? Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Kaifa halak?
Meh. Cuenta.
That's, I don't know very much else.
Why you?
That's the extent of my Arabic. I also know a couple, kisamak. What does that mean?
I'm not fluent. Something with your mom.
Yeah, it's sexual, having some sexy time with one's mother.
Bill, what did we tell you about the mother jokes?
How'd you know to pivot to Arabic?
Do my homework.
All right, cool.
That's what I do. So I have a couple questions I wanted to ask you before I get back to my birthday party.
Yeah.
First, if you had to describe your position as a football player, but as a player on the BDGE team, what would you be and why?
So I'm gonna use football terms. Well, since you're Bill, the camera guy that you guys use to spy on the other teams, that would kind of be me. Behind the camera, the one running the camera.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
So you're not following me.
I don't know what you're talking about now.
So you guys film your practices, right?
Sure.
So it'd be kind of like that, filming the practices. I wouldn't be on the field, but I would be an employee of the Patriots.
Excuse me.
Oh,
The boys are buzzing.
Look
We are.
All right.
It seems like we have Bill's first round draft pick right here on the board. No need to look any further. All right, Matt, here's what we're going to do. You might not know this, but Uncle Bill is actually a meme extraordinaire, okay? So we've created a few memes for you. Do you have your phone next to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to text you a meme, and I'm going to put the meme up on the screen.
Okay, hold up.
I want you to determine the accuracy, and I want you to determine whether or not you would change anything in this meme.
Okay.
Be careful in your answer.
Am I critiquing it?
You can do whatever you want. We want real initial raw reaction.
It's pretty 2012, 2013-y of a meme. This kind of panel thing. The font in the bottom left corner, that's very 2012 meme. The accuracy of it, I definitely wanted to leave Chicago, but not because of dislike towards Chicago, just because I didn't want to be stuck in one place my whole life. And definitely didn't immediately regret moving to Arizona, but no, I don't regret it at all. It's not the perfect place, but there is a nice place to live.
Okay, fair enough. We have another one coming your way. Nope, that wasn't it. We'll get back to that one.
Yeah, how independent he is. Nick, who gives him a place to live also and get COVID-19. It is a worldwide hotspot. Wait, the boat. I got you. That would imply that that I'm ignorant to the fact that would imply that I would just consider this a vacation.
Do you consider it a vacation?
Oh, sorry, I muted because. Hold on. Can you repeat that?
I heard you. Oh, I said, do you consider this a vacation?
Oh, no.
But you could still, the two are not mutually exclusive. You could still crash here all summer and get COVID from me and still work hard.
This is true.
Bill's got his fingers crossed. What are you thinking over there, Bill? You're hoping for someone to get the cove?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
We're waiting. Do you think football operations will be resuming in 2020?
Me?
Either.
I think the NFL needs it more than any other league. But it's not up to them. I don't know. It's so hard to know. I have no idea.
It is up to me, and we'll be back.
I agree with that. We're going to send you over the last meme. Okay?
Yeah, I got it open.
Accuracy.
Well, we don't cook our own pizza. We take it out. So there's that.
It's a good pivot. If it didn't say pizza, it said chicken. What do you cook in the oven? Are you mad right now that we called Bears fans this? Is this your stance?
I don't know. So you're a Falcons fan, right?
Yeah, the conversation is going to end right there.
Oh, where's this going?
This is.
I wasn't even going to put that. But, I mean, you're in New York, so you got the Giants and the Jets. And even though the Bears had a good season 2 seasons ago, we're all three pretty big self-deprecating teams or fans. I'm just happy that doesn't say anything about double doink. I'll go with that.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, those are all the memes that Uncle Bill has for today, but he'll be back. He'll be back with many more in the future. And bing, bang, boom. Goodbye, Uncle Bill. He's out of here. All right, Matt.
Yeah. You're like my Skycam question.
Let's get back to some normalcy here. So you got your phone out. I want you to open up your phone real quick. You don't have to show us yet. I want you to go to your text messages and find one that, that's not embarrassing, that you don't care if the screen sees it. But I want you to go to a text message, and I want you to open up your emojis. Okay?
Oh, I got you.
And I want to see what your most used emojis are. Your frequently used, as they would call them within Apple, iOS. Oh my God, how did you get those? Do I have those?
What phone do you have?
Not a religious one.
If you have a 10 or higher, you can.
Interesting. All right, move over a little bit to the emojis. Are those frequently used ones? The ones next to them?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say are your favorite 3 to use that you use most frequently in the conversations?
Just the generic laugh, the 100, and the fire. Keep it simple.
Fair enough. Okay. Now, your closest group of friends. Do you have a close knit group of friends that you communicate with? Maybe there's a group from Chicago, maybe there's another group in Arizona or whatever. Do you have like a group or 2 groups of friends that you communicate with daily?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the names of the group chat that you have them in your phone? Don't lie to me.
So someone has an Android, so you can't name it.
What's that?
The most group chats, the most common group chats I'm in, one person has an Android, so you can't name it.
That's a fucking shame. Do you guys not use GroupMe or WhatsApp or anything?
No. What's that?
It's just like some kind of
I
fucking.
know what WhatsApp is, but just no one uses it in America. It's an international.
I was
big
hoping.
internet.
Yeah, I mean they bought them out. Facebook bought them out for like 20 billion. So I figured some people have to use them.
Yeah.
I was hoping to
I
get
have
some.
family in other countries, so I do have it for that. But I have my family group chat, but that's nothing special.
Okay. Well, most people have some very embarrassing names for their group chat.
For Corey, four, just four, Corey's.
Fair enough. I was looking to put you on blast here.
I know. I wish. I wish we could name it. We always want to kick out the androids.
Yeah, you've hidden your secrets well. So we'll wrap up the interview here. I want to know what do you want to take away from this internship? What do you want to learn over the next few months if you were to be selected as the intern? Is it just about, doing something that you're happy with and doing something that you're passionate about, and it's as simple as that? Or are there specific things that you're going to come into this with, whether it's certain goals or numbers you want to hit or whatever the fuck it is? What do you hope to take away from this?
So it's attractive because it's an outlet to start filming, start creating content, which is something I really enjoy. I wouldn't say that my top goals is filming fantasy football, but you guys are a growing business, a growing brand, so that is enticing. I guess maybe films is something I would want to do long term, or documentaries, but fantasy is something I enjoy, so doing that would be great. And I like your business mindedness. It's more than like watching your videos is more than just the info. You got a business mind, and that's something to learn from too. I downloaded TikTok because of you. I always thought it was something stupid. And then one video you were talking about how Gary Vee was like, "Don't knock TikTok. It's the fastest growing thing." I downloaded it, posted a video. I have 20,000 followers for no reason.
You have 20,000 followers right now on TikTok?
For no reason.
I
didn't do anything.
Are you putting out more content after that first video?
So I literally, when Kobe died, rest in peace, Kobe, I filmed my TV the day after when ESPN aired the 60-point game. Mm-hmm. Filmed that, put it on my Instagram story, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just post it on TikTok. And it got like 3 million views. Wow. It's frustrating because I put out vlogs on YouTube. I've created content and nothing gets viewership. I take a video of my TV, of my phone, of the TV, gets 3 million views. So TikTok is stupid, like hard to figure out, but obviously
that's not TikTok, bro. It's every social platform when it starts out. There's not anyone on it. So the creators that put shit out have a much higher percentage chance of being found organically, and TikTok might seem like a younger person demographic thing, but at the end of the day, if you're a company or a brand or a personal brand, all you're trying to do is get in front of eyeballs. Like once it gets popular enough, most people will eventually pivot to the platform, and you've got a fucking foundation there. So I would suggest continuing to post content.
I post a little bit. Nothing's gotten viewership. Like I've sat and edited together for an hour and a half, just a TikTok, and it doesn't get the viewerships of something from my phone. So it's so hard to figure out like when you have to post it. But yeah, anyway, I mean, you're the first person to point out that don't knock TikTok for me.
Yeah, man. It's all there. It's just marketing 101 in these days. Find the fucking eyeballs, deliver the value, deliver the content, and eventually something will pop off. So, Matt, first of all, I want to thank you for your time just filling out the application in the first round, submitting the video in the second round, sitting here with me and being a good sport throughout the entire interview, of course. Do you have any questions for me before we disconnect?
Do you guys see yourself adding basketball and baseball ever?
It's a question that we get pretty frequently, and my answer right now is definitely no for the short term, probably over the next few years, because when I first started getting the idea to scale and to try to grow, I wasn't sure which direction to take. I was kind of all over the place, and my immediate thought was like, okay, we've done fantasy football. We're doing it well. Let's start to expand elsewhere. Let's look at fantasy basketball. Let's look at fantasy baseball or whatever. And I started immediately reaching out to people that I thought I would want to bring onto my channel. We had a kid that did like 4 or 5 fantasy basketball videos, I remember. But what I quickly learned is there is just such a thirst for content within the fantasy space, and just content like a lot of the content that I just put out regularly, like the vlogs and just like authenticity behind it. There's a thirst for that. So rather than pivoting to fantasy baseball or basketball, where we're not really that good at it and we're just putting out content for the sake of doing it, we're like, you know what, let's go really deep on the shit that we're really good at. So we already have enough, 4 or 5 long form videos in fantasy football that we think are high quality. And rather than getting other content creators, why don't we get people videotaping? Why don't we get editors so that we can fucking scale the content that we could put on other platforms? So long story short, no, I don't see us really getting into fantasy other sports at the moment. I mean, maybe down the line, but I don't see how I don't see it going that way.
Yeah, I got you. I enjoy basketball and baseball more because it's just way more statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Football, this person scored 10 touchdowns this season, just total, versus like all the averages of baseball. But I mean, I do 1 basketball league, 1 baseball, but then I do 5. So I do a lot of leagues of football. I enjoy it all, but I was just wondering.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, Matt, thank you again for joining me. I'm going to probably hang up on you if I can figure out where the Skype call is. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to... Oh, there you go. He hung up on me. Perfect. I was going to give him another fucking fire strike anyways. 5. Grand total of 5. All right, YouTube. I would stick around and talk to you for... I would stick around and talk to you for a little bit longer. But we have another interview coming up, the third and final interview for today in like 11 minutes. Then I need to prep for that. So thank you all for sticking around for this one. If you enjoyed it, let us know what you think down below in the comments. Let us know what you think in the live chat right now. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. We'll be back literally in 10 minutes. 10 fucking minutes. I'm going to make a whole new video for it. All right? You're all fired.